Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Face shave time. I've just had a cracking head shave once again with the leaf razor, Mitchell's WoolFat, and my Carnivus and Richardson brush with a 24mm knot from somewhere. I don't remember, I cannot get the name of the company in my head, but it's a cracking knot. Now, Mitchell's WoolFat today again for the face shave. This is a soap that I pull out reasonably regularly now. It's a top performer. I love the scent of it. It's slick, it's protective, post-shave's excellent, it's just a great product. Now it is obviously animal based, it is not a vegan or a vegetal based soap, so that's obviously something that a lot of people take into account these days. I don't know whether it'll ever get to that point with me, but my diet has gone that way. I'm very much living in a vegetable or a vegetarian vegan sort of lifestyle now. I don't have a whole heap of meat, I do eat a little bit, so I'm not technically a vegetarian or a vegan. But most of the stuff I have now, I would say 90% or more is vegan or vegetarian based foods. So whether that'll eventually make its way into my shaving down that outlook, we shall soon see. I'm also of the outlook of I don't like plastic either, so it's quite hard, it's difficult, and then there's cruelty to animals and there's just so much other shit. Really, a horsehair brush and a wooden handle is the way to go. It's gotten through no cruelty whatsoever. And wood is obviously a sustainable, eco-friendly sort of thing. You can grow another tree when you cut one down, if that's what happens, but you can do that. Anyway, what am I doing? Brush. Now this hasn't come round in the rotation yet, but I love this brush so much that I'm pulling it out today, just because I can. It is my 28mm rhodium knot from Surjan over at Rhodium Knots, and it's housed in my beautiful purple iridescent pearlescent that damn rod brush. So there is the coin on the bottom, and this handle is just absolutely stunning. You can sort of see that blue shimmer, blue, aqua blue and greens and stuff shimmering, and the shape of the handle with the knot, they're just a match made in heaven. So I'm going to flick out most of the excess, start with a reasonably dry brush. Now as you can see, my tub is almost full. Someone sent me a full puck of Mitchell's WoolFat, which I've grated, squished into the bowl, so I've got enough Mitchell's WoolFat now to last me many years, I would say, when taking into account I only use it sort of every second or third shave. Just dipping the tips. Now, interesting to hear people's feedback on this. I was contemplating, I've seen a lot of people do it lately, and it doesn't bother me so much. They load off camera and then face lather or bolt lather or whatever they do. Now, is that something that, is it worth really doing this part on the video? Do you gain anything from it? Are you learning anything from it? Because ultimately all I'm doing is just swirling a brush on top of some soap until there's just far too much soap in the brush. That's all I'm really doing. So just interesting to see whether everyone would just prefer that I came on, said hello, showed you the soap, and then started lathering. It would certainly save time, that's for sure. Right, let's go with that. Now I did soak the soap prior to starting the video. I'm just going to wet my face. No prep shave, pretty much 24 hours growth. I think it's just over 24 hours. Mitchell's WoolFat, cracking soap. It's one of those ones, and pretty much the same as I've had with tobacco. Soap that I sort of slaughtered Mitchell's WoolFat, to be honest with you, saying it was shit, you can't lather, it's crap. And ultimately, I found now that it lathers easily, and it lathers very well. You just have to overload your brush, honestly, just overload your brush, add water slowly, and you'll end up with a cracking lather. You'll be really surprised how good the lather is, if you get it right, or even close to right. I'm still getting comments from people saying they can't lather it, and I totally understand. I didn't have Mitchell's WoolFat to begin with. The first one I had was Kent shaving soap, which is rebranded WoolFat. So that was my first ever Mitchell's WoolFat. I didn't get on with it very well. In fact, I didn't get on with it at all. I couldn't get it to lather, and it was just an airy mess. and I gave up eventually selling it, and the person that I sold it to, I think, used it until it was finished and got great lathers from it. So now this knot is hand tied in Australian Capital Territory in Australia, in Canberra, by Serjan Danicic. See, this is airy, really airy at the moment. But I find with Mitchell's WoolFat, this is going to be a long video because I can feel it with this lather, it's going to be a long lather. I find what you need to do with this lather is once you've loaded it and it's really airy off the puck, off the silk, is really beat it, just like this, just paint it, keep painting the same spots. And what will happen is it will turn into like a really, really thick, almost like a toothpaste consistency. Don't add any water yet. It'll literally look like thick toothpaste smeared all over your face. Pretty much there. You can see how dense that is. There's hardly any air bubbles in it now. I've beaten them all out. You can see how dense it is just on the top of the brush there. Now, splay the brush, get a hole like that, and then the old Michael Friedberg technique, and just drip some water into your brush. And then I start swirling. Now, I hear a lot of people saying you shouldn't swirl your badger brushes because the hair to fall out. Now, I've lost a few hairs from this brush. I have to take into account that it's brand new. But swirling the brush, in my opinion, shouldn't really be ripping hairs out of your knot. It's no different to doing that as doing that. I mean, what really, other than the movement, it's not doing much to the base of the knot any differently. These knots are packed so densely, swirling the brush isn't going to impact your knot too much, I wouldn't think. Prove me wrong. So now I can see now it's a little bit airy again. So work it. Just keep working it, and it will thicken up. I can assure you it will spring back into life again. It will go thick again, and it will start looking like toothpaste again. Then add more water. You can see already how thick that is. It needs a shit ton more water, really. Don't underhydrate your Mitchell's WoolFat because it is a very thick, dense soap. If it's not hydrated enough, do you know what I'm noticing with this soap? I spoke about it before. I soaked myself and forgot about it, and when I came back, all this sort of gunge came out, and I think I lost a lot of the properties of the soap. So I put this new soap on top, and it feels like it did it initially. So it's like really sticking to my skin, which is what you want when you look at this. Just gonna add some more water. I'm not saying spend this much time lathering. This part for me is the most therapeutic part of the shave. I absolutely love it. Now when I create lathers like this, and then I unfortunately hear people struggle with it, I'm amazed, I really am. Don't get me wrong, I struggled with the Kent shaving soap, so I've been there with Mitchell's WoolFat before. I know the struggle. But if you overload your brush and just do something similar to what I just did, really, does it get much better than that? Holy shit, there's like just... It's far too much. It's hard to paint it on neat and tidy. And it's still, if I'm honest, it's still a little bit dry. But I'm not going to mess about with it anymore. Got enough soap there for about 37 passes. Right, the Carve Christopher Bradley razor. Once again, aluminium with the B plate and a third use Gillette Med Prep. Come on man, get your act together. It's not even a Gillette Med Prep. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I put that one in the bin. I've got a brand new Perma Sharp, made in Britain, vintage blade. And let's screw it back on, brand spanking new. And let's see how it feels. Perma Sharps get a really good name in this hobby. I can't really talk much for the modern ones, but certainly these vintage ones are great. Very smooth. Very comfortable. I also watched Leroy over at Nomeo Shaves using his gold dollar, gold duck or something. I think it was called, it golden goose or something. It's a gold dollar, but it's just a different writing, I can't remember now. But it was honed by Steve Davidson. I think, from memory, I think that's what he said. Stephen Davidson honed it. Now, I'll be honest, I thought it looked a little bit jumpy. Not very sharp, but other than the little weave we got on his neck of what I seen about 3/4 of the shave before I had to go and take my son to an appointment. He was actually getting a really nice shave from it, so he was happy with it, and that's the main thing. You've got to be happy with your own shaves. As Chris over at IMCDV would say, you've got to own your own shaves, make it yourself, and do what you love. You know, fuck everyone else, and really, it's the only way to do it. It took me a long time in life to realise that if I wasn't happy in myself and happy with me and wasn't looking after myself, I couldn't really do that for anyone else, including my family, anyone. And unless you're in a good place mentally and a good place physically and you're holding it all together and you're doing well all round as a person, it's very difficult to then go and help someone else if you're not in that place yourself. So it's certainly something to think about. So the lather is lovely. Don't expect it to be thick and heavy, you know, like the Swedish Witch or something like that. Expect it to be lighter. It's lighter on your skin. It still feels dense. It looks dense. But what you can expect it to be slick, protective, neutrally scented, and ultimately leaves a post-shave feel that pushes the boundaries of the best soaps on the market. And this stuff's over 100 years old. Now this actual soap isn't over 100 years old, but the formula that this soap is based on and made by is over 100 years old. Now, if that doesn't make you think, why the hell am I spending so much money on soaps? I don't know what will, because really, this stuff is as good as anything on the market in my opinion. The lather I've created today, albeit very voluminous, it's a little bit dry still. It definitely needed more water, but to be honest with you, I spend so long lathering as it is, I just didn't want to spend any more time lathering. That residual slickness is just off the charts. It's so good. And it's that residual slickness similar to the Swedish Witch and several other high quality artisan soaps, where it's stuck on your skin. It's not, even though you're taking that full layer of soap off with a blade, it just leaves something behind. How it does it, I've got no idea, but it just works so well. But the post shave, so moisturised. Obviously felt my head there because I've just shaved my head with Mitchell's WoolFat, and it feels brilliant. Definitely a little bit dry. I'm going to do the tips, let's just see. Just paint some water in. That actually felt better, felt a little bit denser. And here we go, from left to right. Something else, I'm just going to touch on it now in this shave. I went shopping yesterday and the bloke that served us, he was only a young lad, I reckon he'd been about 17. This kid had the bushiest eyebrows, he had hairs growing out his nose, I've never seen anything like it. I have in old men like in the 70s and 80s, but it looked horrendous. Like, it was really bad. You know, it's a bit like the old, when you've not shaved for 2 or 3 days, you look a bit scruffy. Well, this kid looked like, I'm thinking, fucking hell. The funny thing was, he had a cracking haircut. Obviously I've got no hair. He had a great hairstyle, like they call it a salad with the line and slipped over and that. And obviously I'm a bloke and I'm not towards the men sort of side of things, but he was a good looking kid, you know, but these hairy nostrils and hairy ears and shit, I'm like, fucking hell man, grab yourself a trimmer and fucking shave that shit. Or am I just being so vain now? I look at myself in the mirror and I shave in here and shave around here and shave my nose and shave my eyebrows and everything. I mean, my nose probably needs doing again, but they were hanging out like, I mean, the hairs on his ears, his eyebrow hairs, they were about fucking an inch long. You're talking like a 16, 17-year-old kid. I didn't even think you could grow hair that long on your eyebrows at that age. Now, if I didn't look after myself and do that sort of thing, I'd look fucking shit as well, I think. I mean, this kid obviously didn't really care, I suppose. But he's going to a barber, unless his mum's cutting his hair and she's shit hot. But if you go to a barber and they're saying, mate, do you want me to trim your eyebrows and your ears and your nose and all that, and you turn around and say no and you've got fucking forest growing out of them, there's some fucking issues. Is it a social experiment? Is he trying to wind people up, see what the reaction is? Yeah, a lovely kid. It's fucking unbelievable. Such a good soap. I can't talk it up enough. And tobacco's the same. I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't get it, because ultimately, tobacco, I mean, you can get tobacco from TK Maxx on a great deal if you're lucky, if it's there that day. But I think the Mitchell's WoolFat for a puck is $18, and I can assure you that puck of soap is going to last you a lot longer than 4 ounces of artisan soap, because it's so firm. It is triple milled, it's rock hard, it's very tough stuff. So it's certainly going to last, so it's great value for money. That's a fantastic shade, and that sleekness, wow, just amazing. Sometimes, you know, the simple things in life, and I'll be honest with you, I will be absolutely honest with you, I think if I had to get if I had that old, you know, the desert island thing, I would be very hard pressed to not choose Mitchell's WoolFat. Now granted, it didn't take out my top soap of 2019, the Swedish Witch did that, and it deserved it. But this is just all round lovely. I love the scent of it. It goes with anything. You know, you can pair this up with absolutely any aftershave splash or product, whatever you want. It's so neutral. The scent doesn't hang around, but it's nice enough, you know. And it just smells like soap, to be honest. I am looking at possibly buying some Mitchell's WoolFat bar soaps as well, for the shower and things like that, because I do enjoy the scent that much, and the soap lasts so long as well. Just excellent stuff. I'm just cleaning this brush out. Now this takes a while, this brush, because it's so dense. A few weepers. Put that down the blade. The blade's very smooth, but it's not white Gillette Ruby. It really isn't, but it is smooth. And the weepers I generally get is from going over the same areas too much, or nicking the top off of a bump. I'm wasting a lot of water here. Living less than Australian, for fuck's sake. Get your act together, Chris. It's nearly clean now. That's good. Just another little splash of warm water. Okay, should be good to go. You can see there how lovely that knot is. Beautiful. I flicked out most of the excess from it, just to give you an idea. Beautiful. I was just checking that. I have lost a few hairs from this brush, from this knot. But like I say, it's to be expected when you get a brand spanking new, especially hand-tied product. You're going to lose a few. And natural hair brushes in general, you will lose hairs over the course of their life. You know, they will snap at the base, they will become a little bit dry, some will become fragile, some might not have glued in correctly. Now this one is a 2-band silver tip, so it has got treated tips on it, which make them sort of almost, well, these gel a little bit, not as much as that Carnivus and Richardson brush. Carnivus and Richardson, yeah. But it's the face feel that comes with this brush, the density of it, how it feels on your skin, the look of it. It looks amazing. I mean, once I've finished drying this off. Now I've been bashing the shit out of this on the towel, you've just seen what I've been doing with it, and I haven't lost a single hair, nothing. God, it just feels lovely. Right, that we'll come back to that as I go through this stuff. Now, my face It should be nice and dry now. I am going to just wet my fingers. Weep of there. Weep of there. In fact, that's more of a little slice, I think, that one. But other than that, fantastic shave. Right, I've just left my skin slightly damp. Obviously my head's bone dry because I've not wet it. But I'm going to finish off my head and face shave today with Moyle Grooming Marlow Glued. After shave, I'll just show you the ingredients list on there as well. Very, very clean set of ingredients. And Sean Mullen over in Canada that created this stuff. 1, 2, 3 for the coconut. He created this product because he was finding it difficult to locate a post-shave product that helped him with irritation and problems. 1, 2, 3 for the face. Sorry, don't do this at home, kids. Sometimes when I put the post shave on, I can just feel a few little tufts of hair that when I first shave, they're not noticeable. So, right, that's that done. Now, Marlow Wood is an extremely woodsy scent. I mean, it is literally like sticking your head in a bucket of sawdust. You know, that is real freaking wood. There's no beating around the bush with it. It's not oud wood scent, it's just pure, like, I don't know what woods he's put in there. I think there's probably pine and mahogany. Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never asked him. I've never asked him what woods are in this. But the scent is pure wood, like, it's real nice. It's like walking past a wood shop, you know, or that sort of, you can't describe it. Some people like it, some people hate it. I don't think there's really anyone that smells it and goes, oh, that smells alright. You either love it or hate it. One of those scents. Anyway, Mitchell's WoolFat. Superb soap. Now that I can lather it, and you've seen how I've lathered it with any brush really, I do find natural hair brushes for some reason or another seem to lather Mitchell's WoolFat a bit better. Don't ask me why, but they just do. Especially boar hair brushes, they just love it. It just seems to work so well. The brush looks, once it's bloomed out like that, look at that. Absolutely stunning. 28mm rhodium knot. You can see how dense that is. Hand tied in the Australian Capital Territory by Sir Jan Danicic of Rhodium Knots. The handle from that Dan Rob is beautiful. I absolutely love the handle. The Craig Stanway of Face Fat has just picked up that Dan Rob handle, and I love that one as well. So I'm just hoping when he gets his knot in it that he just doesn't like it and then he just says, here you go Chris, you fucking have it mate, no worries. I'll swap you whatever you want for it mate. I've got a plethora of stuff in this place for it, you know. Right, what else did I use? The razor. Fucking hell, I'm getting carried away now. 30 minutes in, man. So you think I was on drugs? I tell you what, I am still on drugs, just not very strong ones now. The Carve Christopher Bradley razor with the B plate, the closed comb, or the solid bar, or I think what is it that Jack says over at the virtual groom room? The SB. SBB 0.73 or something he would call that, and the solid bar B plate 0.73, and I've got a brand new Perma-Sharp vintage blade in there. Worked very well, it was very smooth, and look, I mean, in terms of irritation or anything like that, pretty good. I know Moyle Grooming is going to save me no matter what happens. Doesn't matter how shit your shave is, this stuff doesn't get much better for healing your skin. Moyle Grooming, made out of Canada. These will be discontinued, so whatever's out in the wild at the moment, that's all that's available. But you will still be able to get Moyle Grooming through collaborations with Tallow and Steel and Talbot Shaving and all these other companies that are bringing their soaps and Sean's expertise or his quality splash into their line of products and just making these overall amazing sets. I do have one, it works beautifully, it's a Tallow and Steel one. And just honestly, it's such a good splash and well worth the money. And other than that, I am done. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.